What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And this I wanted to break down something very important involving Tesla and the overall market. But let me first mention that I am not a financial planner. Make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Weeble link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Weeble and deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 free stocks, and the offer ends in just 5 days. Anyways, guys, during the shareholder meeting from yesterday, Elon Musk and the Tesla team have unveiled something very important. Basically, there was a slideshow when Elon Musk was speaking, and we saw all of Tesla's EVs on here from the Model 3 to the Y to the S and the X, not to mention the Tesla Semi and the Cybertruck. So, very, very awesome stuff. However, there were actually three more Teslas that were covered by cloths, which is implying that Tesla has three new EVs to be announced, and that's actually absolutely incredible news. Now, Elon Musk said that a lot of people have low expectations for these. A lot of people are going to just like kind of write it off, just like how they did for the Cybertruck. That's his opinion, of course. But people are going to be very surprised by what Tesla's about to unveil. There's been a lot of speculation that this is going to be connected to the robo taxi. If that's the case, that would be very bullish news. And we'll see if Tesla does come up with some affordable EV. There's been a lot of talk about that as well. That's going to be very competitive in China, and I think it's going to give them a bigger advantage because China is very competitive. It's very tough with a lot of local producers over there who are capable of making a lot more affordable EVs. So we'll see how Tesla does with that, but this is actually some very, very big news. Now, on top of this, there's been some speculation about what kinds of models these could end up being. We don't know for sure, guys. That's the most important things. But Tesla has confirmed it has plans to make a more affordable Tesla. That's what Musk was talking about yesterday. So one of those is most likely it. We could actually presume that either the one to the top left or the top right, one of those two is the more affordable Tesla EV. That's the most likely possibility. And the one to the bottom left is actually a different one. There's been a lot of talk about that as well. So now that that just came out, you guys can see right right here. When looking at the shape, it is covered by a cloth and it actually looks like a van. This is what it looks like. It looks like a van. This looks like it could be a minivan or something like that. I don't know for sure, guys. I mean, we can't solely just determine that based off, the shape of a cloth, but there's been a lot of speculation about that. I wouldn't get too excited about just a van quite yet. I would just wait and see what they end up unveiling. But this is very exciting news, very, very big for Tesla. So one thing that's worth noting, I know that a lot of people say that, oh, Tesla doesn't have a demand right now. Teslas are slowing down. Well, it is true that their sales did decline during the first quarter of the year, but it's not necessarily the end of the world because I'm still very confident that we are going to see a big future for EVs and the EV market is going to continue to grow and Tesla will continue to get massive amounts of sales. So I'm not really necessarily scared about that. I think that Tesla's new models could actually incentivize even more growth and more sales and help bring in even more revenue as time goes on. So I'm still very excited about this. I can't wait to see what Tesla announces. Soon, there's going to be some big announcements, possibly as soon as August. So within 2 months, Tesla could be unveiling the robotaxi and maybe a more affordable EV. Who knows? But that's going to be very, very bullish, at least for the long term. Can't wait to see what else comes from that. There's been other talk about Tesla. I'm going to focus on the other things on another video. For now, let's just talk about the share price. I know a lot of people are curious about this. So what's happening to Tesla? What's happening to the markets? Tesla's looking kind of weak right now. We're just kind of shuffling around this 178 area. We have our 200 EMA over here around this 177.5 area. That's going to be our key support. And we have resistance around 180. Tesla's just going back and forth and back and forth. It's very range bound, and that's all that's been happening this entire time. Now, if we end up losing this support at the 200 EMA, there could be a dip coming all the way down to this imbalance towards 176. If that fails us, we'll be coming all the way down to the 173s all over again, back in the range Tesla was stuck in for quite some time. Now, unfortunately, although Tesla had bullish news from new potential EVs, to Musk talk about AI and things like that, it wasn't really enough to get Tesla to continue to run. It kind of popped already beforehand, could have priced a lot of things and then starts slipping since then. So it is what it is. Let's see how Tesla ends up reacting, but as of right now, we're just range bound. So I'll be watching this 177.5 to 178 areas, our support zone, and then we have resistance around 180. Tesla's just continuing to trade sideways. It's not just Tesla, guys. SPY is also trading kind of sideways. It did actually push a bit, so there are more buyers than sellers stepping in. We did sell off quite a bit. We kind of gapped down before getting bought back up. And SPY is holding up. We actually came back up to try to fill this gap. And now we're just shuffling right now in the 541s. So as long as we continue to do so, we might just continue to shuffle. To turn bearish, you want to see it lose 540. We haven't lost 540 yet, so we're just continuing to shuffle. But as of right now, the chart is favoring trying to push a little higher. So it's still shuffling, still kind of choppy, but it is favoring upside a little bit more. For Nvda, we're actually on a very, very strong uptrend for now. But like I said in my earlier video, watch resistance in the low 130s. That's where we have some tough resistance. Notice how we've been shopping between 131.5 to 132.6 for the entire day. It's been very tight, very boring for Nvidia. It's going to likely continue to do so. For the QQQ, it's the same thing essentially. We're just range bound. Now, yes, we did push a bit past this resistance right here. So now it's actually showing some life. If we manage to break past and hold this area, we could technically get a little bit closer to this 480 area, but just be careful because we're at a tight range. We've been stuck between this 479 area and about this 475 area for quite some time. So we're going to likely continue to see a lot of chop at least within this range, and that's going to be the most likely possibility. For now, I just think that the QQQ will continue to range trade, and we just have to give it the time it needs. So we'll see how things end up developing from here. But I'm going to actually draw out another resistance here so you guys can see this range that we're in. It's completely range bound, sideways price action, so we'll just have to give this more time. Apple stock is showing some weakness. Apple's actually, it was trading sideways. Now it's starting to dip a little bit. We actually are below 212.5, so it's a sign of weakness. I could see this dipping towards 210 if we continue to fall. So just be careful, guys. Apple is very choppy, but it's starting to slow down little by little. Supermicro, it's on a bit of a downtrend overall, but make sure you watch support around 532. And then we also have resistance around 543. We're going to likely just continue to remain range bound. We're on a slight downtrend, so I just want to call that out for super micro. For Bitcoin, we're a little bit more bearish looking. We're actually starting to dip on Bitcoin. We failed to hold support. I also call it a possible head and shoulders here, but now we're actually dipping lower as we had a double top, and the trend is more bearish on Bitcoin right here. So we're going to be watching 65,000 as support. If we lose that, we'll be coming all the way down to about the 63,000 area. So we have to try to bounce off 65,000. If we do bounce, I'll be looking for a retest of about 66,000, which is where we had previous support becoming resistance. As of right now, we're looking a little bit more bearish on Bitcoin. For a few more, let's just see. We have the IWM, we have 198 as support and then 200 as resistance. We're looking a little bit weaker on the IWM, but we're still chopping around 198. So it's very choppy. You have to give it more time. Coinbase looking a little bit more bearish. We have potential to dip even lower. I could be looking for, well, as long as we hold below 240, I'll be looking for 237 to be coming next. Looking a bit more bearish. Amazon, we're struggling to really break past 183, so we're very choppy right now. We have support at 182. We have resistance around 183.5. All day it's been back and forth, sideways price action. So we're just going to wait and see what ends up developing. For Meta, it's the same thing. We have 505 as resistance, 500 as support. All day it's been back and forth price action. It's just trading sideways, which is typical for a Friday. For GME, it's also trading sideways. We need to break and hold 30 to turn bullish. Still waiting for that. Same thing with AMC. It's just trading sideways. We need to break past 5.5 to turn bullish. Otherwise, we're just trading sideways. So there's not much going on with the market, guys. The market's kind of boring. SPY has some potential for upside, and Tesla just continuing to chop it between supply and demand. It's actually stuck between the hourly 50 and 200 EMAs. So I would say to be patient, give the markets the time it needs, and we'll give it whatever is necessary. But with that being said, thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day, and peace out.